got all that out the way. Let's get into it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Birds and Feather Podcast. It's your boy Q City.
Your boy Todd Bravado.
And this is episode 91, Sound the Horns. Coming to you right after coming to you for the week as the Falcons straight up demolished, beat down, and destroyed the Minnesota Vikings. So we're gonna look back at that game, talk about some of the things that happened. Look forward to next week versus the Panthers, and it is our first week that we talk about divisional standings. So gonna look into the divisional standings, and then as always, City Talk at the end. But guess what? There is no City Talk. Ain't nobody send us nothing. So that's all we gonna do this week. If you guys want to hear us discuss just some overarching topics, some themes, or anything like that, always hit the DMs or BOAF Media at all social platforms. So if you reach out to us, hey, look, we're still small enough that we're going to reply to all of those. And if you want to hear a topic on the show, just shoot it to us. So first things first, going into it, the Falcons, 22-6 versus the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football. Taj, I've never been more proud of a team. I don't know if I've ever felt like an innate sort of pride and just happiness, tear-wrenching happiness by watching how the Atlanta defense handled the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
Just that was me, but loving your opinion, bro. What did you see from Sunday night?
Defense. Defense. And I seen an O-line that responded to a poor performance in the week game from week one. You love to see
speak on it.
Yes, you love to see that type of response after, producing only 60 yards and only 42 of which came from your running backs. So it's nice to see that they responded in the right way against a good defense. Kudos on, because I know a lot of people weren't thrilled with Zach Robinson's game plan, but it's like this: the defense get paid too. Like they got to say too, and it's like they're intentionally taking away the deep throws because they don't want to get killed deep by Penny. So they're like, look, we're gonna make y'all run because we don't think y'all gonna stick to it. Zach Robinson, okay, if that's what you want, I mean,
and then. Conversely, I also feel like it was a great sync called type of game because, yes, they let Atlanta score at the end, but for the most part of the game, it was we're going to get into good position. We got a field goal kicker that can make field goals, so we are going to kick the ball. And there's no reason for us to take unnecessary risk, especially in the red zone or in scoring opportunities. Because this other team cannot score on us. They can't do the ball on us. There's no reason to put ourselves in a situation where we're behind the 8 ball.
Exactly. Now, I want to put a pin in that real quick. As y'all know, Koo was cut yesterday.
Yeah, not traded or any. I thought, and this may just be backroom, shade room type of reporting, but that they were leaving him on active roster to see if they could find a trade partner for him. And I was like, there's absolutely no way y'all think y'all going to trade a kicker that y'all just demoted. So, like, the fact that they were waiting to cut him was interesting. But, yes, he has been cut.
Well, I mean, I don't think that's the reason. I just think it's one of them things you just want to be absolutely sure before. It's like, all right, so we going to do another competition this weekend. Cool, we going to give you every chance to try to keep the job because I fuck with you. But it's like, bro. The young boy coming in here,
I'm not gonna lie to you. It seems like a pretty emotional farewell. Seems like he was pretty liked in the locker room. Honestly, giving up 7 and going to 6 might have cursed him.
But I did see someone say that because they was like, Bijan might be responsible for this one.
Hey, no, I'm not. I'm actually I'm only halfway joking when I say that. No. Going from 7 to 6 might have messed him up.
It's like the thing. I'm appreciative of Koo, but the thing is, I'm not really affected because like when Koo was here, we weren't winning.
Which is so, man, we're missing the forest for the trees, but I do want to talk about this. Y'all know me, special teams is part of the game. Like it's a third of the game. It is an important part of the game. So with Koo, he's the third all-time leading scorer in Falcons history, right? But if you look,
never seen a playoff game with him though.
Never seen him in a playoff game. And the only reason he scored as much as he did was one, Arthur Smith was absolutely inept running offenses, right? We lived through that multiple years. And he really kept us afloat in those 7 to 9 seasons of what should have been Matt Ryan's last year. Terrible play from Marcus Mariota and average to below play from Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke. Like last year, I hate to say it, Koo was not a good kicker last year. He was not a good kicker last year. He was an all-pro in 22. He was not a good kicker in he was an okay kicker in 23. He was not a good kicker last year, and he was already starting off bad this year. It was time for him to go. And I hate to say it like that. It seems like he was very well liked in the locker room, very well respected amongst his teammate and peers, and a little bit of a fan favorite. Sadly, I think it might be a minute before he finds a little home. He specialized in long ball kicker, and over the past 2 years, I know for a doubt, I know beyond a shadow of doubt, he's like 50%, which is like dead last on kicks 55 or is it 53 and longer? It might have been 55 and longer. He's like 50%, which is dead last by a pretty good margin.
Yeah, so I'll pull up stats. Koo got here in 2019. First year, he only played half a season, 8 games. 88%. Then he went up to 94.9 in 2020. Awesome.
What happened in 2020 though? Before we go further, what happened in 2020?
But that's all pro year?
Nah, no fans.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, but then 2021, he followed up with 93.1%.
Limited fan base. Limited fans is 21.
Yeah. But
then 22 was your all pro year.
He was down to 86 and a half. And then he 86 and a half again in 2023, but then last year he was down to 73.5.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year he was not a good kicker. And to be honest with you, to be completely real with you, I thought they were going to cut him at the end of last season. And you spoke on that as well, is that, I think I understand special teams is a third of the game and whatnot. I was unaware without looking at the stats how bad Koo was last year, right? And so, like, I would come on here week after week and it's like, oh, we can't blame the kicker and this and that. But, like, once we got to the end of the season, we were doing the end of the season stuff, and you kind of, like, start really looking over everybody's season. Koo had a pretty bad season last year. And I'm not surprised that they weren't willing to, deal with him up till.
The only reason they didn't because he was having injury issues as well.
He did.
They probably talked it off he just injuries and all that, but it's like they were still floating around the back of the head, which is why they moved on so quickly this year.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, Koo has never been, even if you get into like the real nerdy stats. So like, you remember the old Madden? You remember the old Madden when you would go into training camp and the field goal, right? It would be blue, yellow, red, orange, red, and then orange, red, blue.
It was never blue. It was never blue.
Yeah. So like for short field goals, Koo has always kind of been around the blue yellow range, right? Like he sneaks in a lot of his shorter field goals, which like if you listen to like old school kickers, it speaks to the fact that that's an overcompensation, but because it doesn't have the distance, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, right. Basically anything 20 for 29, he's never missed.
Yeah, so he's kind of aiming it, if that makes sense, right? And it's like, had that gone 35, 37, you probably would have missed that because you really overcompensated on your anchor.
Nah,
But
because 35, because 30 to 39, he only missed 4 kicks in his career.
which, I mean, that I'm just saying what kickers are saying because this is what these people talk about. But 55 plus, he was a long ball specialist. What
No,
is
he
it
was.
looking like? No, he
He was.
was.
I think people let that 2020 year kind of cloud what he actually was. He was a 49 and end specialist.
What is he looking like 50 plus?
50 plus 29 and 40.
29 and 40. Yeah, and most of those misses have come in the past 2 years.
He missed 3 in 04. He missed 3 in 23. He missed 4 in his All-Pro year in 22. He missed 1 in 21, and he was 8 for 8 in 2020.
Yeah, 2020 may have changed the image on what everybody thought about him because thought he was a long ball kicker.
Yeah, because but historically his numbers 49 and end are that.
Give me 1 sec, Tosh. 1 sec.
Yeah.
Hold it down.
Y'all see this unprofessional Negro on here taking phone calls on my time when we on this podcast. Unprofessional. I'm finding them.
It was the misses, bro.
I'm finding them.
All right, you're right. But so where was I at? Yeah. I didn't think he had a great season last year, especially after looking for him. But yeah, I think that definitely contributed to just saying like, hey, we're not going to go through this again next year. We're not going to go through this again this year. We not doing this. I don't care if you slam your helmet down and you are really fired up about it. In the grand scheme of things, boy, they gave that man 1 game and was like, nah, we good.
Because he barely made the first one.
Yeah. So
like, bro, we can't depend on you week 1, bro. We gotta get this figured out.
And John Parker came through in a good way.
No, so one thing that really kind of impressed me is like, when they were doing the post game interview with him, he didn't even know he kicked a 50-yard field goal until they told
him. So that's just, I love people like that because you're process driven. You're basically saying like, I'm doing it the same way every time. I'm making sure that I follow my steps. If it's got distance in it, I'm gonna kick an extra point the same way I kick a 54-yard game winner.
Yeah, cause that's what the special team coordinator Maurice was talking about. He was talking about when you want your kicker to have the same swing every time, no matter what, same swing. And Cool got to the point to where he was changing his swing
a lot, trying to overcompensate, trying to get some more distance, trying to get less distance. It was wonky. It was weird. It was kind of all over the place. I'm not surprised that they let him go. Sad because like I said, it was kind of respected, but then again, and this is not a shot at him. The Falcons have been known for mediocrity and just mid levels of like exceptions of just saying like we are okay being mid. We're a 7-9, right? Like being their record forever, 7-9. And like to really say like, no, that's not acceptable. Like you miss a game winner in week 1, we're moving the hell on. It's a little un-Falcons like that we've seen in the past that we saw under Arthur Smith's regime. And so it seemed as though it was a pretty calculated move. Because if y'all remember how I felt about the quarterback situation that Arthur Smith had, I definitely said like when he went back to Ritter, he should have been fired. This one seemed like
would they get him fired though?
Yeah, but like this one didn't seem knee jerk. It seemed very well thought out. It seemed like Koo was just on a short leash, and he yanked that one a little too hard.
Yeah, and I feel like Raheem's also identifying like, hey, I don't got time to be waiting for people to get it right. If you can't get it right, I'm gonna get someone else out, and I'm gonna get someone else who's gonna do it. Like if you can't do it, it is what it is. Like, cool, it's like cool, I love you, but you can't do this job, so it's business.
Yeah, I slick saw that with Casey Washington a little bit.
Now Casey had a concussion.
He was out for the concussion?
He had a concussion.
He didn't dress?
Yeah. He was out. Yeah. Because Casey did fine in the game. Because on the play where he dropped the ball for Tampa Bay, that was where he got concussed.
So he didn't dress.
Yeah, he didn't practice. He was.
I was worried about him. I said, "Boy, he about to hit the same thing."
He had a good game. He just got concussed.
Mooney came back, didn't make a huge impact.
Well, that's just more so game plan than anything.
Which we was going to get into here in a second. Mooney came back, didn't make a huge impact. Pitts, he had some critical catches, right? He had some critical catches, but the yards weren't really there. London, yards weren't really there like that. But honestly, targets weren't really there like that this past game.
I think Pitts and London were your target guys this week. But I do like that they're like making it a point to like, because like, I don't think I remember any time them running a slant from a wide receiver spot with Pitts last year at all. So it's like, oh, okay, so you do know how to use them.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Yeah, but
lined him up all the way outside and ran a slant. I was like, what is this?
And he got separation. There wasn't no lazy route running, was it?
Hey,
I'm talking to the internet people.
Don't act like you ain't see it on film.
No. So here's the thing that Michael Penix brought some light to, because everyone wants to be like Penix runs lazy routes. Pitts runs lazy routes. Penix came out and said, "Look," he was mostly talking about Casey Washington, but it kind of stands for all receivers. He was like, "Look, if you're not the first guy in the progression, I don't need you running full speed, getting open too early. I need you to pace yourself and get open for when I get to you in the progression. Then you're open. Because if you get open before I see you, it's pointless."
Yeah, because then the guy's gonna recover.
Yeah. So that's kind of a lot of what Pitts thinks. Is just the thing is Pitts doesn't accelerate the way people want him to. So they're like, "Oh, he's being lazy." No, he knows he's not early in the progression, so he has to run his routes a certain way. And y'all gonna be like, it's lazy. No, he's just doing what he's asked, because he wasn't a lazy route runner at Florida, so he's just doing what he's supposed to do. But that's all I got on that.
I think my main beef offensively was just the lack of execution within the red zone. So we scored 1 touchdown and 5 field goals. 4 of those field goals came in the red zone. 3 of those field goals came in the red zone. 1 was around the 30-yard range, and then the other was a good 50, I think it was 54-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look that up real quick.
Because I know he missed 3 red zone. Yeah. But I think he
so we had 3 red zone opportunities, 1 into 30-yard range.
Bijan
did drop one. Drake had a fumble.
And look.
And then Drake had a fumble while we were driving.
Penix made such a nasty throw on that play. Rolling to his
London?
right.
Oh,
he made such a nasty throw, and then London goes to fumble it. I get it's part of the game, but I can't be too mad at you because that's your first fumble since your rookie year. But still, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like the offense was out of sorts. This is, crazily enough, with a very dominant win, this was Penix's like worst professional outing, honestly, in a game that he started.
I don't think it is.
Statistically.
He didn't turn the ball over.
He didn't, but 135 yards.
I mean, you look at the yards, but he was 13 to 21, 130, but no turnovers.
True, but
Like,
he hasn't been a turnover machine since he started.
Not a machine, but he had 3 turnovers in the first 3 games. Well, 4 actually, because he had a fumble.
True.
So it's like, I mean, given the interceptions weren't his fault, obviously, but like, you know, in a game where your quarterback don't turn the ball over, where he don't make the things worse, there's not a bad game. Now, I'm not going to act like he played well, but he didn't play like this wasn't his worst performance.
This was more so like statistically, I think we had gotten used to that 226 over on Penix was like an auto cash.
But this is also the best defense he's played against,
which is also true. Bryant, like this defense is legit.
Because Zach Robinson came out in the presser and said he was honestly surprised that Minnesota just stayed in too high. They refused to come out of too high.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of just had to take what's underneath.
And Bijan had a day.
Yeah.
Bijan had a day.
So that alone kind of just like lends credence to like Penix played well to me because he didn't force the issue. Because he's an aggressive quarterback. So any other young quarterback is probably like, man, fuck that. I'm throwing it. No, Penix still took what the defense gave him. So I'm okay with that performance. He got us into some good runs. I mean, I would like to see Zach Robinson get the play calls in faster because we can't have that happen where we're burning timeouts unnecessarily. It didn't come to bodies in the ass because we dominated the game, but just speed that process and get it in cleaner. But yeah.
When I think about it, I think Bijan had a day. Algier came in for cleanup crew late, but like dominated on the ground.
He had a 75-yard rushing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He came in and just like boomed him down late. Like definitely took some carries off Bijan. Bro, do you know how many touches Bijan had?
22 carries and like maybe like a catch or 2.
Yeah. He had because we did it like a little earlier. He had 3 catches, so he had 25 touches this game.
Yeah, that's about what you want.
It didn't even seem like it is the crazy part. Like it felt like he was dominating the game, but I was like, when I looked up, I was like, damn, he had 25 touches, but Algier had 16 carries.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful part about it, is that like Bijan being hyper aggressive, being super productive, and you could still take a good load off of his carries in another like formidable back is just like it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Now, do I only want Penix throwing the ball 21 times? In a perfect world, no. I think he's a good quarterback, an aggressive quarterback. I would love that number around 20, between 26 and 30. But it's hard to say that when you're dominating running the ball and you winning the game so thoroughly.
Yeah, like sometimes you gotta
put the ball in the air for the sake of it.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta just take what the defense is giving you. If the defense clearly don't want you to pass, all right, y'all can't stop the run, so I'm gonna keep on running then.
And speaking to your earlier point, they mentioned it multiple times in the broadcast. The offensive line took it personally, that performance against Tampa. Now, if you look at Tampa versus Houston, Tampa might be a really good run defense. Like, they just might be a good run defense. But Atlanta took it personally that they could not move the ball against Tampa.
Yeah.
And so when I look at it, I think that I want to see us convert in the red zone a bit more. Yes, you had the Bijan drop, and then you had just miscombobulation, like you said, getting play calls in, calling timeouts, some kind of unimagined play calling in the red zone. I did not like the red zone play calling at all. We need to clean that up. Not I hope to clean that up. We need to clean that up.
I don't have as big as problem with the play calling. It was just more so execution. Because on the miss to Ray, I don't think Ray expected the ball to be thrown to him. Because I think if he would have expected the ball, it would have been a touchdown. Because Penix put it in a spot where Ray could have got it. I just don't. These receivers is one of them things, and it's a hard thing to kind of put yourself into mentally. Because like some offenses have routes that are just there to just occupy space. But with Penix, all routes are alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you expect the ball at all times. Just be ready.
And that could be a foreign concept. That could be a foreign concept because there are hella dummy routes, right? Like some routes are literally just ran to clear space out. Totally understandable, right? So like that may just have to be a switch that your mind has to get to. And then another part of like it's not a dummy route, but your quarterback can't make that throw. You know what I'm saying? And you understand that. Like you've ran that rep, you've ran that practice. He's not going to be able to make that throw against this coverage. So I'm not overly worried about it. Penix doesn't think like that. Like, at certain times, Penix be like, I feel like I can make that.
He's like, oh, that dude he said he's lacking over there. You think stuff sweet over here.
And that was my crux of frustration in the first game, because had he just located the ball and put his hands up, like Penix wasn't overly in most situations, and I would say 10 out of 10 situations, quarterbacks do not throw that ball in that situation, right? But Penix did, and you were wide open. All you had to do was put your hands up. The corner wasn't even expecting it. But I digress. It's in the past.
And that should have been a legal touch because the receiver bumped him far down the field. But anyway.
But going to the stars of the show, this defense, my God. We talked about it on the live. Every single rookie had an impact. Right, not every single rookie, but like the high-profile starting rookies had it.
We only had 5 picks, don't we? Look, respectfully, Jack Nelson, we ain't talking about you. So we're gonna say all the rookies, but we're not talking about you, Jack. And it's no offense. It's no offense. It may be you one year, but it's just not this year.
Yeah, no disrespect. Oh, and then I seen somebody put into the chat. They was like, "Bro, where is Braylon Trice?" And I was just like, "Hey, look, bro, he is going to be the odd man out." You understand me?
He's just not injured reserve. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll still find a way to get him in there, but he's on injured reserve.
I hope, I pray, because boy, this thing was clicking. I hate that we came out of the game with AJ Terrell. Hurt his hamstring. Definitely, he's out this week. Obviously, just gonna let him heal up, get better. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't expect him back until after the bye week, but
I mean, he can come back next week if week 1 or 2, but I don't expect him back until after the bye either,
though. But like, yes, what did you see from the defense? Even though before you get into it, I'm sorry, they hold my boy again. They gave him a half sack. That's crazy work.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you see from the defense?
Dominance. We got a look lucky on a couple of plays, because as good as Billy Bowman did, he did get beat deep on a miss. But I mean, he plays some good ball. He's good in the run defense. Devon Diablo.
That was your call.
Like people were like, I don't think he's gonna do. I don't even know if he's gonna start. I said no. He was always gonna start. And he's doing very well. Jeff Obert being the linebacker whisperer is doing wonders. So yeah, man, I'm just excited just to see what he can be going forward. But like the defense put together like a diamond, because like even after AJ Terrell went down, the secondary still held up.
100%. Zach Robinson.
Jeff Obert.
Zach Harrison, my fault.
Oh, Harrison.
Harrison looked really, really good.
Brandon Dorsey too.
Dorless looked very good. They popped on the screen. Jalen Walker, Leonard Floyd obviously got involved in the sacks. Even when they weren't sacking, the pressure was there all night. His pressure percentage was like 60%. That's numbers.
Yeah, because we had 4 players get their first sacks.
Yeah, like a 60 for context. I think like the highest percentage rate ever for like 20 dropbacks was like 90-something% when they went back and looked at like Ryan Leaf. You know what I'm saying? But like a 60% pressure rate has been recorded like I think like 9 or 10 times in the past 2 seasons. The Falcons ain't never been on that type of list.
Oh no.
Ain't never been on that type of list. 6 out of 10 dropbacks they get into you.
Well, I ain't gonna say never, but it's been a long time before either one of us was thought of.
You feel me? Like grits blitz type stuff.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I just and JJ looks shook. He or hold on, what'd you call him? Because you're not gonna call him JJ.
Yeah. Jonathan James, mid-Carthy.
Yeah, but he looked completely shook. He looked out of sorts. Was not able to decipher the back end of the defense, and then even if he could, he didn't have time to look at it. They could not get the run game going at all. I think that was the point that I absolutely loved is the fact that as a team, what's that 55, 78? They had 78 total yards. McCarthy responsible for 25 of them, so only 53 from a running back. That's oh my God. Do you understand what it looks like to have 53 yards? Yeah, of course you do, because we did that last week. And the only thing that kept us afloat was Penix being able to sling the ball like he did.
And use his legs and make plays.
So I promise you, I don't think in my history of being a Falcons fan in the past couple of years, we've had a defense that looked this promising and this young all come together at one time. Like it's always a missing timeline. It's always Grady coming in and, Babineau, it wasn't Babineau, but you know what I'm saying? Like people leaving. It's always, when we have a decent D line, we don't have back end. When we draft Trufant and Alford, we don't really have the linebackers. Or, it's always something. And it seems like we have a playmaker at every level. A person I haven't seen pop much in the first 2 games outside of getting burnt was Jesse. But it doesn't feel like him not making – it did seem for a little bit on our defense that if Jesse didn't make an impact play, we weren't having a decent day defensively. And that did lead into his kind of gambler's mindset.
Yeah.
I feel like he can trust to just do his job and the other pieces of the defense will hold up.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So looking at next week, we are going against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina just lost. Let me get the score. Carolina just lost to Arizona 27-22. 27-22. That game was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 24-zip.
Something like that.
Arizona was up big. Arizona was up huge. Carolina made a super late push, and then they weren't able to get into the end zone late. Right? So they do got some cardiac cat to them. You know what I'm saying? They got completely manhandled in week 1 by a Jags team that I don't believe is that good. So they lost to the Jags team. I don't know how to feel about Arizona. They did decently put up numbers both weeks. So maybe they've turned the corner. Not really sure. I think I need to see a little bit more. But it does not seem like this Panthers team is that good. It seems as though this Panthers team is circling the drain pretty early in the season. All of that momentum that Bryce Young had at the end of the season, bro, I hate to say it, but like if he makes it to the 8th game of this season, I would be very surprised. I think this experiment is a fail.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to say it's a fail yet, but because I don't know if it's him. I feel like the coach isn't like playing to what the quarterback is good at. Because Jeff Ulbrich said in the thing that like in so many words, he basically said the Panthers still feel like they're trying to find their identity because they didn't come back in that game until they opened the playbook up and let Bryce do what he's good at.
And it seems as though it feels like the talent is there with Bryce. It feels like the talent's there. And he gives you taste of it every now and then. But like there's never that stretch at the end of last year was the sustained excellence that you're looking for to be like, hey, we got something. He's looked through the first 6 quarters of the season, he looked terrible. Then, these last 2, he put it together a little bit. Okay, cool.
Until they needed him, and then he turned back into
pumpkin. You know what I'm saying? He turned back into a pumpkin. So like I just don't know if he's reliable. I don't know if this is the person you want to kind of build a franchise around still. And now you got some pieces, right? Ted looked pretty good.
Yeah, 100 yards.
You drafted Xavier Legette.
Great catches.
Like you drafted Legette you drafted Legette 2 years ago.
Tegan?
Yeah, Tegan Jr. Or Tegan the third. You drafted him 2 years ago. You drafted Ted last year. Like, there's pieces there that you want to build and grow around. You drafted a tackle. It doesn't seem like it's coming together. And like the easiest person to blame in that situation is a quarterback. You've already changed the head coach.
I mean, is it the easiest to blame the quarterback? Because the quarterback's showing like promise.
Every now and then, to me, honestly.
I mean, he ended the season hot. And then you come into the season not doing what he was doing hot at. So is that coaching or is that quarterback?
True. To me, I think that defense is still historically bad. It was historically bad last year. I don't think it's improved that much. You allowed 26 points and 27 points, and both those teams took their foot off the gas because you were out of the game early.
Yeah, Penix ain't doing that.
So, a shocker. I got the Falcons winning this week. And to be honest with you, I got them winning something along the lines 31-14. I really think this is
24 to 10. That's what I got. But.
Yeah. So we both got them, not as many field goals and a good bit of touchdowns making the difference in this game. And Carolina not scoring that much, I don't feel like their defense has a lot of answers, especially not for somebody like Bijan, especially not for Drake London. And if our defense continues to play the way they were, Bryce really don't got a chance in hell. They're going to be carrying him back down to 85 in the stretcher.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? They got a new head coach, Dave Canales, came from Tampa. Baker was Baker really thrived under him, right? And had a very productive time throwing the ball. So, like, you said what?
He thrived under Liam Cohen too. Like,
you said what?
Liam Cohen. Like, yeah, he's just getting coaches hired at this point.
Yeah, true. So, like, I want to see if he can take off. But not this week. I definitely don't think this is the week to do so. We may be a little not thin in the secondary, but like we are missing our best player in the secondary. But I honestly don't think it's going to make a difference.
Best corner
in the secondary. I honestly don't think it's going to make a difference.
Yes. So, well, look, I think Ted's one of them. I think Ted's one of them ones. I'm just going to be honest. Ted to me is one of them ones, and he will cause problems. I don't think it's going to be enough to win them the game, but he will cause problems yeah.
So you got Tech going off for over 100 this week?
It may not be 100, but he gonna get the opportunity to do so. Because I don't think none of our corners can actually cover him one-on-one.
I think I'm interested in seeing that. Going into divisional, Tampa is 2-0 right now. Obviously on a 2-game win streak. They're up. We are at 500 at 1-1. They are a game and a half up on us. New listeners, for y'all who don't know, a game up is obviously one in the loss column. They got one in the win. The half game comes from the fact they beat us head to head, right? So the only way to steal that back is when we play them a second time, we win that game, right? Then it goes to all the tiebreakers of like, division, conference, et cetera, et cetera. Panthers and Saints, both 0-2. Obviously, we play the Panthers this week, but the Saints are another team. They don't look like they're circling the drain. They just look like they cannot get right. They can't get
good. They suck.
I mean, I want them to suck as much as anybody else, but like they definitely look like a team that just. Spencer Rattler is 0-9. He's 0-9.
Damn. Okay. All right.
You said what?
But all right, Colorado. No, they just won. The quarterback threw for 4 touchdowns and 380.
Salter, that's the third string guy?
No, Salter is the guy that was the original starter.
Ah, they went back to him.
Yeah.
Cal got beat 34-0 by San Diego State. That's wild.
Cal?
That's wild.
Cal was my sleeper team because I like their quarterback.
Nah, them niggas was sleep. That's what it is. My fault. But Spencer Rattler is 0-9 as a starter, right? And that, I don't know, that just feels weird because I don't feel like he's been playing bad ball. In fact, I meant to tell you.
No, he is.
Yeah, I meant to tell you, like, hey, you might have been right on that one because, like, you were a Spencer Rattler fan going into that draft. He hasn't been playing bad. It's just, bro, like, the Saints can't get out their own way, especially late in games.
Yeah.
I would love to tell you that, like, I'm mourning for their losses, but I don't. Not at all.
I want them to lose more. But I want them to win just enough to where they don't get a good quarterback or anything good. I want them to get the third best or whatever.
Yeah. I want them to win, like, 6 games and move all the way down to, like, pick 8, pick 9. It's been beautiful. All right, so usually you guys, this is around the time we take in City Talk. We would take in any suggestions you guys have and speak on topics, but we ain't got nothing, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it. That's cool with you, Taj? Love it, man. All right, you guys, follow us on all social media platforms. Hit that bell, hit that ding so you get alerted when we go live. BOAF Media on all social platforms. Follow us, like us, add us, all that good jazz. Hit those DMs so that we can talk about the topics as they relate to y'all. And we will make sure to shout you out if we read your topic. So it's been your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And we out.
Peace.
I like this one.